So as some of you guys might have noticed, there have been pretty much zero Supermoto build videos lately, and that's mostly been because it's been very broken and it's had pretty much no brakes for the last few months, so I haven't been riding it. But today we get to fix that. We have a front master rebuild kit and a rear master rebuild kit from All Balls Racing. So we're gonna rebuild both the brakes, and then we're also gonna rebuild the car because that started leaking a ton of gas recently out of nowhere. So we'll finally be able to actually ride this thing around again. Right now, the biggest challenge is the fact that I basically don't have the tools to do this whole job, and I also don't really know how to do this entirely by myself because I've never had to rebuild a brake master cylinder on any dirt bike ever. So we're gonna have to try and ride this to a friend's house where we can do all the work. Anyways, we made it here. We got the Supermoto here. It was a little bit of a sketchy ride. We had a cop behind us for a while, but didn't pull us over, and the brakes are working just good enough. Plus coronavirus is going on, so there's hardly anyone on the road, so it was really easy to ride over here. We got Chauncey, the master mechanic, here. He's going to be helping us fix the Supermoto today. He's also going to be shooting a YouTube video of it. We washed the CRF for the first time ever. I've never actually washed this bike, so it's all washed now because we didn't want to be working on a nasty, dirty bike. We got it all cleaned up, so we're going to go ahead and start with the front because, well, that's probably the easiest to do right now. Something we just noticed is that these brakes are dragging a lot. So I'm not sure if that's the master cylinder that's causing it to drag or if my calipers also need to be rebuilt. Cool, so we got the little rubber boot off. There's a little C-clip in there that we have to get out in order to pull out the plunger thing. And I think the whole plunger kind of just pops out. So unfortunately, some previous owner at some point got this pretty stripped out, so we're having a really hard time getting this one little bolt out. So we're resorting to some more extreme measures to get this bolt out.
As you can see, there's still plenty of thread to actually grab onto.
Can't even find your hand.
I don't know what the heck that is.
That just came out of there?
Yep.
Looks like there's more of it in there.
I put gloves on. He's like,
who knows if this has ever been rebuilt? This could just be old dried up brake fluid or something weird. The All Balls rebuild kit, it comes with everything you need, so you're going to reuse your stock plunger, but then it comes with the new O-rings and then a new spring. So it got everything you need to rebuild this. So the first thing is just to pop the spring off. And then we need to get both the O-rings off and then pop the new ones on. Cool, so we got the first O-ring off. Just make sure that you put these in the right order and that the right O-ring goes into the right place. But it's pretty easy to pop these off and then pop the new ones back on. Just make sure you don't damage the new ones when you put them on. Get your plunger nice and clean, put a little bit of brake fluid on it, get a little bit of brake fluid on the O-rings, and then they should pop on nice and easy. Well, easy-ish.
literally with this, we pick over there.
Alright, next step of this process is just pump this a zillion times to get all the air out of the lines. Oh yeah, it's going down.
So just draining all the bubbles out.
Alright, now we're moving on to the rear, just getting it all loosened up. And then we can go ahead and, it's basically the same procedure for the rear. It's almost identical. As you guys can see, once you get the boot off, it's the same thing. There's a big C-clip in there. You just pop that out. So the rear, we just started taking apart, and we had this problem with the front. All this weird junk that's in there. And I think it's just solidified goop. Show the world that it works. We know what we're doing.
Brick has been fluidized. That is some real nastiness. Hold on, stop.
Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. We finally got the brakes to work. Right now we're going to go test it. And then in very near future, we're going to finally put new plastics on this thing and make it look like not a complete turd. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.